here's the big question. We talked about Ben, we talked about the offensive linemen, but overall, the Steelers went in there with one objective: fix the run game. They got Najee Harris and 2 backup linemen. Did they fix the run game?
Not right away, and then that goes back to the point that I said earlier. Fixing your run game completely, doing a complete overhaul, going to take a couple of years. That's just the nature of it. I mean, we're talking about a team who ranked dead last in rushing offense last year. You're not going to change things overnight. I mean, but what a way to kind of get that process going and get the gears turning with the best running back in the draft, and Najee Harris, with a capable starter at center or guard in the third down, and Kendrick Green, and then possibly a guy who can maybe one day step in, and Dan Moore Jr. You throw that in with a hopefully healthy David DeCastro coming back, and with a stud and Kevin Dotson along the offensive line. You got a new offensive coordinator who's going to bring new schemes and hopefully a new mindset, a new modernized kind of look at the way the Steelers play football. And you really got to like to see their chances of at least improving the running game in 2021. So I will say they definitely improved it. Are they done improving it? Absolutely not. I think it's going to be 1 or 2 more pieces along that offensive line before we can really say that the Steelers are back to running the football the way they used to. But I'm a fan of how they've done it so far.
Are they at least good enough to be productive in 2021? I mean, that's the big thing. 100%. If the Steelers offense can't run the ball, they're not good.
No, they're going to be able to run the football without a doubt. And that just goes into everything I just said. The group of fresh new young linemen who are actually going to be able to make a difference, combined with a running back who looks like he's able to do everything and more that's going to be asked of him, and the new offensive coordinator to put the chess pieces in the right positions in order to be successful. So, yeah, I like all of the above.
All right, so let me ask this next question. Does Najee Harris come anywhere close to 1,000 yards in 2021?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%, especially with the 17th regular season game added on. I mean, we're talking about a guy who only needs to average, 65, 70 yards a game to hit 1,000 yards, if that.
James Conner hasn't done that in 3 years.
I think Najee Harris is a little bit better than James Conner coming out. So,
do you?
I think so. And even going back to James Conner had – 3 100-yard rushing performances in a 4-game stretch last year to start the season. It's not crazy at all. And I'm not knocking James Conner at all either. But I mean, if you're spending the first-round pick on the rookie running back, I sure damn hope so. He's going to hit 1,000 yards his first year.
Yeah, I would hope so too. Well, I mean, the 24th pick's a different story, I feel like. But I do think that he does hit 1,000 yards. I think that the offensive running game gets a lot better right off the jump. I mean, I think just getting rid of guys like Al Villanueva helps immediately. I think that, and Ramon Foster, but that helps right from the jump here, is that you now have, or not Ramon Foster, Matt Filer, excuse me. Though now you have Kevin Dotson, who's probably your strongest offensive lineman right now, who could play every single snap, who should have played every single snap last year. A healthy David DeCastro, who was battling injury after injury last season. Hopefully Zach Banner's back and ready to go. Chooks was good enough to keep a starting job all season last year. And I mean, even if it was thrown into it, but still, if the Steelers needed to move him, they would have moved him. And Najee Harris, I think right there, you got at least enough to carry an offense. You talked about Matt Canada. Matt Canada still worries me because I don't know how much they're going to hold him back in year one. And AKA, I don't know how much Ben Roethlisberger is going to hold him back in year one and just say, hey, I'm not running these plays. They're not my style. I don't know. But either way, I do think it gets fixed. I do think Najee Harris is a 1,000-yard rusher.